Thank you very much. And now the gentleman from New York, I'd like to recognize Mr. Bowman.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Good to see you, Madam Secretary. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your tremendous work. I'm concerned about the Recompetes program. In my district, there are many historically marginalized, underserved, redlined, under-resourced communities that lack the infrastructure to go after some of the grant money that is available as part of the Recompetes program. What are your thoughts in terms of supporting these historically marginalized communities and building the infrastructure and accessing the resources that are necessary to create jobs in, like you mentioned earlier, 100K shortage in semiconductor tech jobs that these communities could really benefit from? Can you speak to how to provide more on-the-ground support for historically marginalized communities?
So it's a great question, and the whole point of the Recompete program is to make investments in communities that have been historically behind, and our plan is to run an open, merit-based process, then to pick a handful of places to make fairly significant investments. Because I know from experience, if you're starting, with nothing, you need some critical mass, which requires a big investment. We are providing every bit of technical assistance that we can to help communities to apply. This is an initiative that's got a couple of steps in the application process, and we're really trying to provide technical assistance. That being said, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is tough. I know in Rhode Island, the communities that they are left behind as a result, they don't have, much of the infrastructure. They don't have a planning team. They don't have money to hire a lawyer to submit the grant. So we're doing what we can to recognize that. But in your case or anyone's case, if you have a community that you think is worthy with some money, could be successful, then we will reach out to you and we'll help you to help them to apply.
Thank you, and I'll have my office follow up with you on that because we definitely want to partner with you in that conversation. I had another question about regional tech hubs, regional tech and innovation hubs. So I was proud to contribute ideas to the bill about how we can bring minority and women-owned businesses and CDFIs to the table, and how we can use the hubs to promote employee ownership and cooperative business models. As you implement these programs, how are you approaching the challenge of building and actually keeping wealth in local communities, particularly vulnerable communities, as we just talked about? How do we make sure the benefits don't just go to large corporations and distant investors?
With tech hubs. So
Yep.
let me say something on the tech hub initiative. I've never seen anything like this oversubscribed. We were appropriated $500 million, and we have received over 400 applications. We are massively, massively, massively oversubscribed. 400 applications from 48 states and 3 territories. We are going through the applications. We're required by statute to designate at least 20, but that means, 380 disappointed places. And I can tell you, these are incredibly high-quality applications. So I suppose that's my way of saying, I think at some point you should appropriate more money for this.
Yes.
Because it was authorized at $10 billion. We got $500 million. It's amazing what we're seeing. And this is the thing that allows us to compete with China, invest in America and all of our technology and all of our communities. So the point of this Recompete is for really distressed places. Tech hubs, not so much. Honestly, we want to find places that are really good at some technology, and we can take them from good to great. So I don't want you to think that this is for distressed communities. That being said, it's also not just for big companies. Actually, tech hubs, we want to be looking for the next generation. I don't think of it so much as big companies. CHIPS is big company. This is for, like a startup ecosystem, an R&D ecosystem, a new innovative way of job training. So that's how we think about it. That's the purpose of it, and I think we'll get that right and make sure we get into every nook and cranny of the community.
Yeah, there's a company in my district, Seek, that works on superconductor-based technology, so I want to give them a shout out as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.